Welcome to Pause for Peace with me, Pastor Jule. I can't hardly believe that the end of January is just like a few days ahead. Things are just like flying by already in 2026. And I'm wondering how you're doing. I hope that all is going well, that you're finding moments to chill, just breathe. If you're living in the Northern Hemisphere, you might literally be chilling, freezing. Hopefully it hasn't been too frigid where you live. Here in Nashville, we've had some cold weather and hopefully are going to be coming back into some sunny days. Again, we love those. But I'm wondering about just ordinary days. Like what happens day in, day out that is inspiring to us? What happens that keeps us grounded and returning to love, like returning to the love that lives within us? We are in this liturgical season as a church that some do actually call common time or ordinary time. We're not in the middle of the high holy days of Advent and Christmas, and we haven't yet gotten to the season of Lent, though it's coming very fast. February 18th, it begins. The season of Lent, which takes us into this high holy cycle of Easter. We're just hanging out here in between, kind of living our lives, doing these ordinary things. In the liturgical texts that we read during this season, we hear about people who are just living their lives, doing their ordinary thing when knock, 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 Jesus shows up and interrupts their lives and says, hey, come on, follow me. I'm about this thing, this movement of love, this revolution that he is about, of spreading love throughout all the world. Just calls them, come on, just follow me, come on, let's go. In our ordinary days, it's possible that spirit, divine, the luminous, however you want to speak of this God thing, can just burst into our lives and we don't expect it. And sometimes it can throw us for a loop, and sometimes we're like, no, I am not going to be about what I'm receiving from God right now, because it might just be too much. I've actually remembered a time in my life where I actually prayed God, please let's just stop for a minute. Can you just stop, because it's too much that I'm being called to right now. Of course, I asked God keep on giving those steps, those stones to follow on the path of being faithful. As we're in the middle of our ordinary days, what can ground us? And there's a few things that can ground us, a few things that sometimes I have to be reminded to return to these, and one of them is the breath. Just to take a deep breath. I've been listening to this pretty amazing book that is speaking all about the Hebrew understanding, according to this particular book, is that it is when breath enters us that we are animated by God, according to the Holy Scriptures. This is the gift that God gives us, and our breath can return us to being grounded. Our breath can actually give us a pause before we have to jump in and make a big decision as we're in the middle of a meeting or in the middle of an event that we're leading or something we're organizing. Our breath can just take us back to pause. It's one thing in the midst of our common, ordinary days that we can be about. Another thing that is really helpful, I think, is what's called a mantra. And one of their mantras that I've been learning and trying to incorporate over these past years is the mantra of return to the love that is in you. This is something I've been learning from one of my spiritual teachers who leads the House of Mary Magdalene, Megan Watterson. Love her work. She's amazing. But part of what she's lifting up is that teaching that the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit, is within us. The pneuma, it's called in the Greek New Testament. But the pneuma is within us. The Spirit is within us. And so when we're in the midst of crazy situations happening in our days, maybe just like at the grocery store today or while we're driving, whatever it might be, that we have that mantra to return to the love that is in me. Return to the love that is in me. When we couple that with our breath, it's an even more powerful prayer that takes place. Prayer, energy, and intention is like what happens. Like we have our prayer like get out there in the universe, and like somehow or another God mysteriously works so that our energy is following our breath and our intention. And so when we make it our prayer and we take a breath, return to the love that is in me, whether or not I place my hand over the center of my chest, I have that moment to settle back in and to truly like ground myself back in that reality that God dwells in me and in all living things. This is what we learn in the Christian scriptures, that God dwells in me and all living things. And so when I can return to that, using that powerful thing of my breath and this mantra, my ordinary days actually can become extraordinary. Like there is the opportunity for God to give me amazing revelations when I literally take that breath and return to the love that is within me. When I do that in the grocery store line, for instance, I might immediately be calmed down because there might be all sorts of chaos around. And just taking that breath and returning to the love that is in me can change the entire circle around me, because it's changing myself. And what I then do will ripple out and affect everybody else. In Healing Touch, we learn that, I don't know the exact like frequency, like descriptions, but that the highest frequency level will be what others like. The energy will follow that highest frequency level. So when we keep ourselves at a high frequency, when we are returning to the love that is in us and taking those deep breaths, others around us are like, it's like almost like a magnet, like their energy then can also begin to settle down. It's part of why we need to take good care of ourselves and like tend our energy well and keep ourselves all throughout our ordinary days, able to be about these pauses, these like holy gems that we can grab onto, so that in the middle of like this incredibly challenging situation, this anxious experience that I'm having, that this simple thing of my breath and the mantra, return to the love that is in me, can change it all. For our pause for peace today, I want us to practice this. So I'm inviting you to get yourself in a place, a situation where you can at least pause for a few moments, where you can be still. And if you want to be seated in an upright position, that's great. If you need to lay down or you need to like kind of lounge, that's fine too. Or if you need to be standing up because wherever you are right now, you're just going to stay still where you're standing, that's good too. If you'll close your eyes, we want to move into our internal world. We want to see what is going on within. We don't need more time seeing what's going on without. We need more time seeing what's going on within. And wherever you are right now, if you'll bring awareness to the bottom of your feet, you might want to move your heel toe, your feet into the earth. Begin to notice the ground under you. Bring awareness to that energy that is coming in from the earth to you. And now let's start to focus on our breath. So let's take a deep breath from our belly. Hold it for just a moment at the top of the breath before you allow it to release. Slowly, evenly. Sometimes we need to just blow the breath out and like like let it go. And that's a different process. Right now, to calm down, we're going to take another deep breath. Hold it there at the top before we slowly allow it to release. Slow, slow, slow. And I'm going to invite us to take another deep breath. And on this third deep breath, I want you to really pay attention to if you are able to take a deep breath from your diaphragm. Like if the air is truly able to fill up the whole cavity of your lungs and your chest, or if like something's stuck somewhere. Sometimes we have that where we just can't get a deep breath. So we can continue to return to the love that is within us and do what we can to take that breath, or to take a deep breath that you like blow out quick that can help to release some of the blocks sometimes. So right now, paying attention to your breath as we take a deep breath, hopefully from the diaphragm, from the belly. Hold it. So in this moment, notice, like, is everything here all filled up with air as I then start to release slowly? Am I noticing the air releasing all the way? It's hard to do when you're talking, but give it a try. Let's do one more deep breath from our belly. For a moment, notice what you're experiencing before you release slowly. Pay attention, notice what's going on within as you release slowly. So drawing all of our focus into the center of our chest, to the spiritual eye of our heart. We've settled in with our breath. If you need to continue because you're feeling pulled off in any way, you can always come back to the breath. Come back to those intentional deep breaths from the belly, really paying attention, pausing before you exhale, and exhale longer than the inhale. Settle back into the space of your heart. So let's all do one more deep breath just because I've been speaking. Hold it at the top. And release. Slowly release. Let it go. When we release, we literally let go what we don't need. And releasing is so important in the process of breathing. If for no other reason, then it teaches us to let go of that which is not serving us in our world today. So here in the space of our heart, we focus in. Our energy, our attention is in the center of our chest. We're setting that intention that we are returning to the love that is within us. Returning to the love that is within us. We do that through the space of our heart. As we're here, settled in the space of our heart, I'm going to invite us today to ask like one more question, go one step further with this practice. And in this internal space of the heart, as we are returning to the love that is within us, the question I'd like us to pose to the love that is within us is, how can you expand into my ordinary days? Like, how can you, love, expand into my ordinary days? So let's be in that time of stillness, listening for how love will respond when we ask, how can you, love, expand into my ordinary days? So sit in a bit of stillness. to receive what you will receive from God, from this indwelling presence of God, as we're asking it, how can love expand into my ordinary days? In this stillness, listening to how you, love, can expand in my ordinary days, because we're in the innermost space of our heart. We're seeking to converse with the love, the God that lives within. And when we're finding ourselves pulled off track, we return with a deep breath. We return. It's like we're returning our attention to the love that is within. And before we depart this stillness, let's take one more deep breath. Continuing on that mantra of returning to the love that is within me and seeking to ask the love that is within how love you can expand in my ordinary days. For whatever you have received in this time of stillness, whether it's something you have heard or seen or felt or like even had this sensation all over your body about it, if you will express inwardly some form of gratitude. This is love actually seeking to guide your steps, all of your ordinary day steps, as you return to the love that is within you, and you ask how this love can expand. So inwardly give gratitude for what you have received, even if you don't understand what you've received. Give gratitude for what you have received. You might actually imagine yourself throwing great big arms of love around love, saying, thank you, thank you, thank you for what you have given me this day. So much appreciated. And then when you're ready, if you will bring your awareness back to the outer world, back to this recording with me, and back to all who connect through this podcast, and find a way, for whatever you received, whatever you saw, whatever you heard, find a way to keep that. Imprint it in your brain right now, write it down. If you feel like you can't remember things, maybe you have a prayer journal that you keep. This would be a great thing to add. I actually have a prayer jar that I've had in my office at home for forever. I can put prayers in there. So however you want to capture what you have received, please do so. Because these are the stones that you can look for and be paying attention to as you go about your ordinary days, these ways that love can expand in your ordinary days. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you pausing, because that does create more peace in you and more peace in the whole world. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time, February 2026. Blessings. Have a great week.